You see, my Jedi powers are far beyond yours.
Logic's Everybody. This is actually my first Logic album I've ever listened to, so I'm kinda going in with a clear head and an unbiased opinion on this stuff. I've never heard of the album before this, The Incredible True Story, and I've read that this is a continuation of the story on that album, which features one of my all-time favorite voice actors, Steve Blum, on it. So that's cool. Let's see if this album is good, meh, or somewhere in between, or somewhere else. Hallelujah. Pretty nice vibe. I like the instrumentals in the background, and they kinda remind me of a fighting game soundtrack, or a certain song from a fighting game soundtrack. You know what I mean, that one stage that has that relaxing, cool music like Tekken 4's Rooftop stage, or Street Fighter 2 Second Strike soundtrack, and basically it just reminds me of the late 90s to early 2000s fighting game music, where they use airy synths like this, as well as a nice piano backing the instrumentation. Logic's lyrics about opening your mind and living his life, showing everyone what he's got to offer. Then the ending of the track has a man named Adam getting hit by a car, and then he wakes up in the middle of, I guess, purgatory, and some guy tells him that his wife cheated on him and that he's God. Good opening track, pretty cool. Everybody. Gotta say, the beats are pretty nice. Spacey, airy, and the drums kicking in are nice. The O's and drums are sick, and Logic's flow rides the drum kick really nice. The lyrics of him dealing about being prejudiced by black people for having white skin and associate him with having white privilege, and white people giving him shit for being black as well, and being called a house nigga while ironically being white as hell to the same people who tell him that. Pretty good song. Love the instrumentation, and the drum kicks are sweet to the ears. One of my personal favorites on here. Confess, featuring Killer Mike. Logic singing from the point of view of a man whose sins are many, but compared to the many others from his hood, he's a saint compared to their injustices. He curses God, telling him that he doesn't believe, prays for forgiveness, and so on. The beat is, again, pretty cool. I like the upbeat keys, the vibe, and his wife is actually singing on this track as well, which is pretty cool. She also has a pretty voice. On the bridge, the man and his significant other sing to each other about the man's sins and wrongs, and the part of him that she loves is hurting him more than she knows. The ending features Killer Mike from Run the Jewels, and I actually really need to finish the review for Run the Jewels 3 as well. Killer Mike sings about being put under with the filth and feeling that God doesn't forgive him for struggling and betraying and suffering just to make it out, only for the people that seem to be worse making it out better than him. An okay song. Killing Spree, featuring Ansel Elgort. Ass, titties, pussy, money, weed. So, yeah. The lyrics dealing with the world today being lived through the internet and cell phones, likes dictating how popular something is or how good something is, wishing he could be liked like that, and so on. Ansel Elgort has a pretty nice voice, and it rides the beat real nice. The beat is really nice. Love the lead-in to Take It Back at the end, and yeah, this is an okay song. Take It Back. Beat is freaking awesome. The lyrics about feeling left out and not belonging to a skin color, even though he's white on the outside but actually biracial, coming from a black father and a white mother. The lyrics about him telling his mom how she could have all these kids by a black man but be racist is pretty crazy. Him talking about his father being really understanding of his problems, as he went through some rough shit too with his own family as well, gives us insight to how he feels real connected with his father and his struggles as well. Good song. My personal favorite beat on here. America, featuring Black Thought, Chuck D, Big Lembo, and No ID. Another sick-ass beat that sounds like it comes straight from the 90s golden age of hip-hop, with the breakbeat drums and the vocal samples being cut in and out around the beat. Kinda reminds me of the movie Juice, honestly. Like if Tupac was getting chased on the top of the roof again and this song would be playing in the background, I mean, it would go with it pretty well, I think. Logic speaking politically on here about how George Bush being the prequel to Trump's reign, Kanye West's messages and songs being different than his political views, and so on. Having Chuck D and Black Thought on here is icing on the cake. Love that Logic had the right idea to bring in the hip-hop giant Chuck D on here to speak about the fact that still in 2017, the government is getting away with so much shit like it always has, but maybe even worse, especially now that Trump fired the FBI director for investigating him, raising so many questions about what's going on in Trump's little bubble. Pretty good song, but that beat that changes up near the end reminds me of something familiar. Kinda sounds similar. Inkblot, featuring Juicy J. Another personal favorite song of mine on here that I actually keep coming back to. Love the beat, the nice keys, the drum kicks, Logic's flowing and mixing with Juicy J's nice flow. Just an all-around nice track to jam to. Logic flowing, then getting mixed in with Juicy J's flow, it kinda makes me think that he's having an inner fight with himself. Talking with Juicy J singing about being real, bucking back with guns, and making the money, while Logic talks about having a facade. And yeah, I really hate that it's kinda short. This song could have been a lot more better with a longer length, but what we got was still pretty nice. Most definitely. Another nice sounding beat that mixes pretty well with Logic's flow, yet again. The message at the end with Logic singing about black people being intelligent and beautiful is nice. And the lyrics talking about the money problems that his friend actually was going through with student loans and stuff. The obvious reference to Mos Def in the song title. And just about going through life, getting an education, the money problems, and persevering through the tough times. An okay song. Waiting Room. Adam is about to get reincarnated into another life, during another time, losing his memory and past self of his past life. He finds out that he's been actually reincarnated so many times that the last time he was reincarnated, he was a 13-year-old female Mandarin child in a past life. Pretty crazy to think about. He then finds out that he'll reincarnate as a lord, Lord Fairfax, who owns 40,000 acres and hundreds of slaves. Kinda fucked up that God would do that to a black dude. Pretty cool little skit / interlude that moves the story of Adam along, as well as talk about the afterlife and reincarnation. You know what? When I was a kid, and even still now, I kinda always imagined that that's how life would end up being. We die, then we just reappear as another person, losing all our memories of our past self. Another okay track. 1-800-273-8255, featuring Alyssa Cara and Khaled. A song about thoughts of suicide and depression, something that I could kind of relate to. The song title is the actual phone number to the suicide prevention hotline, where you could talk to people that'll help you through your problem, hopefully. The song is really strong, pretty good beat, nice lyrics, but a powerful message to anyone who could relate. Good song. Anxiety, featuring Lucy Rose. Lucy Rose has a nice voice, real vibey and airy on a nice atmospheric beat. Well, at least at the beginning, before it kicks into a hard thumping, sick beat with Logic spitting about being attacked by anxiety. Another thing I could relate to, as the same thing happened to me at a movie theater, which is scarily coincidental and familiar as well. I remember feeling like my fight or flight response was out of whack or something, and I felt like running, my chest feeling tight and my mind racing with all these imaginary thoughts and stuff. That feeling is one of the worst feelings ever, and if anyone who's ever been through it as well knows the feeling. The first time I got an anxiety attack, I ended up quitting my job. I felt embarrassed and also scared. This song is nice. I could relate to it. I'm pretty sure a lot of other people could relate to it. The beat is nice, and Logic talking about his experience is also pretty cool. Good song. Black Spider-Man featuring Damian Lamar Hudson. Nice piano work, the beat kicking in with a nice bass accompanying it. The horns are nice. This beat is all around nice sounding. The tail end of the song is pretty damn vibey as well. Damian Hudson's voice mixed with Logic sounds really nice. That beat change at the end where it goes into this smoky, chopped and screwed vibe was cool. Then it goes into a skit about Spider-Man, Santa Claus, and a black Seinfeld. Almost consistently through this album, the beats have been great, and Logic's flows have been really consistent. Vibey, flow with the beats nicely, and yeah, it's an okay song. Africarian, featuring Neil deGrasse Tyson. The longest song on the album, Africarian, was originally supposed to be the title of this album before I think he had gotten into a bunch of flack for using the word Aryan because of the association with the word. Anyways, bad word aside, this song has a nice beat, but most of the song is just repeated over and over. Single mother playing Indigada Davida, black daddy blacker than the street, feeling the Aryan in his blood is more scarier than a blood, some girl's daddy leaving her like abracadabra. After a while, I was waiting for something to break the repetitive lyrics, and then God comes back to tell Adam that he's going to live his life to be happy, not for materialistic stuff. His money, his cars, his clothes, they don't make him or own him. And then I hear Steve Bloom's voice out of fucking nowhere, and I'm like, oh shit. Then he says he's queuing up Logic's 4th album, his final one, or whatever that means. And the beat that plays at the end, while low and admittedly pretty sparse sounding, has J. Cole spitting on it, talking about to be himself, be a star and believe in himself, no matter about his color, his race, just be him. Long track, kinda repetitive, the ending is nice, and overall, So what do I think of Logic's new album, Everybody? Well, aside from it being my first Logic album and the fact that prior to this I had only heard the song Super Mario Bros. Or something like that, and I've actually checked out his YouTube gaming channel, which is pretty cool. I think this album is so-so. Not bad, but something I guess I gotta listen to a little bit more. The tracks I keep coming back to are either because of the lyrics, the beats, the messages, or just the features. Inkblot, Everybody, Take It Back, and America's Beats are awesome. And Inkblot and Everybody are songs that I always keep coming back to, either solely based on the beats or just the vibe. I might get hate from Logic fans, but I think Africarian is too strong and repetitive with its repeating lyrics. And Logic's almost always talking about his biracial background on here. While I applaud him for giving love to both his white and his black side, it kinda gets repetitive too, like on Take It Back. I get it, you're biracial and you went through some shit that thankfully made you a better man because of it, but I kinda wish you would switch up the subject. Pretty sure this is gonna be one of my and maybe this whole channel's worst reviews, but this is just my honest opinion. I give this album a 6 out of 10. Good beats, Logic sounds good and flows excellently on some of these, like on Everybody, Inkblot, Take It Back, and America. And Logic's singing voice is pretty good on some of these songs as well, like at the ending of Most Definitely. Kinda wish he wouldn't keep saying how he's biracial and how his dad's black and his mom's a racist white lady so much. And his message of peace, while I agree with it 110%, keeps going into his songs also, and I just kinda got tired of it after a while. Most of the time I kept hearing the words love, black, white, biracial, and peace and black people. Especially at the end of Most Definitely where he keeps saying black people. Again, sorry if you really like this album and feel like I'm shitting on it. I like it too, just kinda wish some things weren't as big and prominent on here as they are. I guess I just need to listen to more of his stuff. So thanks for watching, and as always, just like Logic says, peace.